I'm in the action, chips on the table. I want the feel good, I need another sandwich. I want the win, lucky seven. Every time I walk in. You know, every time I walk in, I'm the best thing, I'm the best thing. They all watching every time we walk in.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to join our lives, and thank you to Modern Beauty Supply for hosting us again. My name is Zeina El-Sherif. I'm a field education trainer with Wella Professionals, and today is the third and final part of our Triple Craft live series. So Triple Craft is a concept created by Stephen Moody, who's the educational director of North America, and it's really about bringing a cohesive look using cut, color, and styling. So what we've been doing is 2 weeks ago, Zach Ferguson cut the mannequin that you guys are gonna see today. He did a really cool creative haircut, and then he shipped it over to me, and I did a creative color on this mannequin. And then today we're gonna see Nichelle style this mannequin and really bring our look together. So if you guys haven't seen the first two parts of our Triple Craft live series, they're posted on the Modern Beauty Supply IGTV, so you can go back and watch them. And they're also posted on the Wella Canada West IGTV. All right, so I'm gonna let Nichelle come in here so she can show us this mannequin. All right, we just need
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. And thanks for doing the intro there, Zeina. So my name is Nichelle Desautels. I am a field education trainer here in Vancouver, BC. And I'm just coming to you from my apartment that is about to get like 1,000 degrees in here. So here is the mannequin that both Zach and Zeina sent. So as you can see, we got a very creative haircut going on here, as well as a beautiful color that Zeina did. I'd just like to start off by saying, for me, this is a little bit out of my element. Both Zach and Zeina come from Ontario, where they've worked in departmentalized salons where, you know, you kind of work with other stylists to come together with a cohesive look. For me, coming from the West, I'm originally from Alberta. This is completely out of my element. I am used to taking something from start to finish. So this is kind of a new experience for me. So I'm really happy to be working with a couple of amazing hairstylists to kind of bring this look together for you guys.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
I love a good collaboration.
This started in Ontario and now it's all the way in Vancouver. Like, that's just an amazing thing that we have nowadays with technology. So I'm so glad all of you guys could join us. And I'll kind of get right into it. Zeina, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that's great. I think it's like super cool that this mannequin's been all over Canada, especially during coronavirus.
Yeah.
She's done more traveling than all of us. But yeah, I think it's really fun to do a collaboration, and it's like super fun, especially with amazing stylists, and it's fun to bring together a look. So I'm excited to see what you're gonna do.
Yeah, awesome. So I did wash her and prep her when I got her today. So I started off with, I shampooed and conditioned her with a volume boost from Invigo. Now, anybody that doesn't know about our Invigo line, we have a whole care and styling line, and our care line would be Invigo. This is the volume shampoo and conditioner. And what I like about it is, especially with the conditioner, it's called Crystal Mask, and it's clear. So it doesn't weigh the hair down or anything like that. It gives me a lot of texture and body to kind of work with without making the hair too soft, which is great when you're doing kind of a very textured style like this. Okay. Then I went in with Thermal Image, which is my new favorite heat protectant spray. It has up to 220-degree heat protection, and it's very lightweight. So you just need to shake it, spray it right on. And then I also prep the hair with Ocean Spritz, which is a beach texturizer. So it just gave me a little bit of grip while I was blow drying the hair. Okay.
Nichelle, we just have a question here. Is the shampoo color safe?
Yes, it is color safe.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's really awesome. I encourage you guys to try it. Okay. Then I went through and I just kind of blow dried with my flat brush. I used my GHD Helios blow dryer on a low heat setting and just use a flat brush to kind of smooth the ends. And I blow dried everything, just so you guys can see, away from the crown. So I use the crown as kind of my starting point, and I blow dried everything towards the face from the crown to kind of really complement the shape that Zach had put in the haircut. Okay. All right.
I love how flat you got that fringe, Nichelle.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I wanted to start playing with this haircut right away, but for the starting point, I decided to blow dry it all flat. So from here, what's the beauty of like a haircut like this is you could just go in from here and use a little bit of a pomade and start working the haircut. Because Zach put so much texture in here, it is really easy to go in and work it. So I'll kind of show you guys a little bit of that first before I go in and start heat styling and do a little bit more of a creative style on her. So as you can see, we've got all these big layers here. So maybe I'll stand behind and see if I can work it from behind. So all I really need to do, pretend I had pomade in my hand, is just really scrunch the hair and manipulate the hair to really bring out that texture. Okay. You can see we even got some shorter layers in here that you can kind of bring out. So if I had pomade in my hands, we could really piece this out and get a lot of texture. See how much that just changed it? So this would be a very kind of simple way you could style this and just make it really easy for someone at home to style too. I know we're getting a lot of these like mullets and like shags that are coming into style nowadays. And they are really client friendly because they work with the natural texture and they're really easy just to like scrunch and manipulate using their hands. So they don't need to do a ton of heat styling themselves at home.
What kind of texture products do you like to use, Nichelle? Like what's your favorite pomade?
So I really like Texture Touch from IME. So it kind of comes in, it looks quite hard. All you would do is just rub your finger to warm it up. And then as you see, the product comes right on my finger like that. So you don't want to dig in there with your finger. You want to just kind of warm up and work the product with the heat of your finger, and then it comes right off. Okay. Do you have any favorites?
I like Texture Touch also.
Okay.
I like the consistency of it. It's really nice. I sometimes use Just Brilliant when like I want a bit of shine, which I guess isn't too often, but I do like that one for some shine also.
Yeah, this one's also really great.
Oh,
it's got a much easier texture to kind of work with, so yeah.
Yeah, it's much softer.
Yeah. So I will be working with some pomade at the end, but for now, I will get into some heat styling. So when I did finish blow drying her, I did run some of the Oil Reflections smoothing oil through just to give the hair a little bit of slip while I'm working with my iron because I don't want it to grip too much.
Is there heat protection in that oil, Nichelle?
Yes, there is a little bit of heat protection in that oil. But I did start with the IME thermal image. So. All right, so I'm going to start working at the back. I'm going to kind of work from the bottom up because I'm going to finish with the top here. So do you ever get asked, I know for you, you're doing kind of start to finish now. Do you ever get asked to do any creative styles in the salon?
Styles?
Yeah.
Well, I find Calgary is not as, like maybe it's the area I'm in, but I find Calgary is not as creative as maybe Toronto is. Like where I am, I'm more in the suburbs, so there's not too many mullets and shags.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's been interesting doing it all start to finish because I'm, like Nichelle said, I'm used to a departmentalized salon. So I'm used to only doing part of the hair. So like I was a colorist back in Toronto. So I worked with a stylist to create the look. So what we're doing with Triple Craft is like right up my alley. I'm used to this.
Yeah, perfect. So what I decided to do was create just a little bit of a wave, like a textured wave at the bottom here. So I'm using my GHD Platinum Plus, and I am turning it to kind of manipulate the hair into a wave. The key kind of here is not to take too big of sections, because what you can do is create creases in the hair. So my sections are about maybe ½ an inch wide, and they're not as wide as the actual plates themselves. So I don't want them to slip out of the plate. So I'll kind of show you. Okay. So that's how wide my plates are, and then this fits right in between the plates there. I love my GHD Platinum Plus because there's so many different things you can do with it, from straightening the hair to curling the hair to adding waves or kinks in the hair. It is really like an all-around tool that I find, like, I don't even really have a curling iron in my cupboard at the salon. Do you, Zeina?
I'm a curling iron kind of girl, so
Okay, yeah.
I personally love the GHD Soft Wave curling iron, soft curl. So I find that much easier for me to use since I come from like a colorist background.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now you can always go back in and re-manipulate the waves if you find they didn't quite go as wavy as you wanted them, sorry, or if you have some creases in there. So I'm trying to make them not so perfect because I want to give this a very kind of textured look at the end.
So are you pretty much just moving your wrist back and forth?
Yeah, so it would be kind of like, so I start right at the base and I turn my hand away from me and then turn it towards me, turn it away from me, and turn it towards me. And I can obviously make them smaller waves and just do that motion quicker with less drag to create smaller waves in there. Have you ever done this with a flat iron, Zeina?
You showed me how to do it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I have to practice.
It kind of gives you like a triple barrel look without using a triple barrel, and it gives you a little more freedom for how much
Oh, there we go. We got you back.
Okay, perfect. Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Okay.
Now, I love the color that you did. Did you want to maybe tell us what your formulas were?
Yeah, so you guys can go back and watch kind of how I applied this and my technique. But my formulas for that gray, I used 9-stroke 8-1 and 7-stroke 1-8, half and half with pastel developer. And that's for that gray color there. And then for the orange, I actually used our Colorstone Perfect special mixes, 0-stroke 4-3.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you use the special mixes quite a bit to create creative colors, or?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think the special mixes are really fun. Like I use them into my permanent color, like into my Colorstone Perfect to kind of like control or like add to a tone. But I do often use them like on their own creatively, just because I feel like it's kind of nice to make like a customized shade for your client. So if you guys have ever seen our special mixes, we have like a ton of concentrated tones. And you can dilute them like using like 10-stroke 0, like so a 10 natural, and really add as much or as little of that tone as you want to really create like a customized tone for your client. So, and it's, I don't know, I feel like there's something kind of fun about creating a color rather than just like using a semi-permanent, which is also fun. But it's just fun to do something different and kind of like think a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely makes you think about your color theory a little bit more because you don't actually get to see what it looks like in the bowl, right?
Oh, it looks like you're getting a bit of volume there too.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a couple different ways I've decided to go in and do this. I could have done this, I'll wait till I get to my next section, but I could have decided to create a little bit of drag at the roots instead. Now, when you're kind of curling with an iron, you always want to think about, do you want to add volume or do you want to add drag? So if I go to my next section here, if I wanted to create drag at our roots, instead of, turning towards her head and creating that volume, I could always turn away from her head and create drag. I'll kind of show you guys what that looks like. So see how that kind of changes the look of it a little bit?
Oh, wow.
But I am personally a person of volume. I love volume. So, whereas I don't think you like volume as much, do you there, Zeina?
As you can see from my flat hair, I don't like too much volume, no. I mean, I love volume on my clients, I'm not a volume girl myself. I have a lot of hair, so kind of try to weigh it down.
All right. So I'm starting to get into the shorter pieces here. So I'm going to leave them out and then move on to the sides. And what I've been finding interesting with not being with this mannequin from start to finish is I really had to, when I got her, I had to really sit there and look at the haircut and kind of dissect what they did, and come up with how I wanted it to look finished. So it's a little bit.
Nikki says, I have an interview for a showroom tomorrow. Wish me luck. Good luck. I'm sure you'll kill it.
All right. So I'm actually going to split this piece in front of the ear. The reason why I'm going to do that is because I don't want it to be too thick. And like I said before, if you create it too thick, you're going to create that crease in the hair. So what do you think, Zeina? Did you have an idea of how you would finish this when you were working on the color?
When I was looking at Zach's haircut, like when I saw his haircut, everything was kind of coming together a little bit more for me. So I feel like super inspired once I see how like the cut's falling and like what he was gonna do. And this is kind of exactly what I was thinking, like lots of texture, like lots of movements, really show off the layers that he put in the hair.
Yeah, definitely. So these kind of waves, I actually really like mixing them with traditional flat iron curls a lot of the time when I'm working on clients in the salon. The reason why is because you get a little bit more of that beachy textured wave versus having them all the curls fall together and fall the same way. So being able to do kind of waves like this gives you a little bit more kind of tools in the toolbox to be able to create a very different look that your client might not necessarily be able to replicate at home.
And I feel like right now too, with a lot of the trends, we're seeing a lot of that kind of like undone texture. Oh, I think we're having some technical difficulties with Nichelle a little bit.
I feel like my phone keeps locking. I'm not sure why. Sorry, guys.
Oh, technology.
All right. Never had that happen before where it just locks on me.
That's okay. Got you back.
All right. So again, we worked up into those shorter layers there. So I'm going to move around to the other side. What does everybody think so far?
That's looking really good. It's coming together nicely.
Awesome.
I think it's much easier to see how you're going to style something once you see the cut and the color too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I do find like usually before I start someone, like when we're going through a consultation, I do kind of like envision the finish and then kind of work backwards a little bit. So this has been interesting, being able to not really seeing what the finish is going to look like, and then having to work each step. So you're watching each live and be like, okay, that's what they're doing.
But when we were discussing our concept for what we wanted to do with this, we all did kind of collaboratively come with an idea. So I feel like what's cool about working together to create a look is you really learn a lot how to communicate with other stylists when you're creating a look. Because like, if, you know, I need to know what Zach's going to do, or else I won't know how to place my color, right? Because typically when you work in a departmentalized salon, you color the client first and then you cut it. So I'm used to really communicating with the cutter to make sure they're not going to cut off my color.
Oh yeah, definitely, right?
Right? I'm always like, how short are those layers going to be? Are there going to be bangs?
Yeah, that would be so sad to see all your hard work just gone.
Right? Nothing worse than having like an unblended balayage too. Like if they suddenly decided to cut layers where you didn't expect. So I feel like when like having a collaborative concept, like it's really important to properly communicate too.
Yeah. All right. So there I've kind of worked all the bottom sections so you can see, and it's really just like this undone texture throughout there. I try not to manipulate the hair too much while that's happening, because I want it to cool and set. If I start manipulating it too soon, it can get very frizzy and fuzzy. So I want it to cool until I go through everything else there. Now that I'm here, this is kind of where it gets a little bit free form. Like I did have an idea of what I wanted to do, but now I'm seeing kind of these longer pieces throughout here, and I want these to be waved out as well. So what I'm going to do is kind of grab them, move the short pieces out of the way, and slowly kind of wave those pieces there. So this is where it gets a little more kind of free form, because this is obviously not a very structured haircut, right?
So it's a bit more just like looking at the cut, like seeing how it's falling, and then intuitively styling.
Yeah, kind of saying, oh, that piece I don't like sitting there, so.
Cool. That's looking awesome.
Yeah. So I haven't got any requests for mullets yet in the salon. Have you?
No, I haven't. No mullets on my end. I would love to do a mullet.
Yeah, I keep waiting for someone to want to get it.
So if anyone wants a mullet in the Vancouver area,
yeah, come and see me. All right. So the reason why I decided to style from the crown back here is mostly because of those shorter pieces that we have all throughout the top. If I were to try and style it back, all we're going to get is like a little rooster tail, which is okay if that's what you're going for, but I don't think that's what she wanted to go for today. So that's why everything's kind of moving from the crown. So how I decided to kind of do that is when I was blow drying, I just kind of took my blow dryer and let it split where it wanted to go, and then continued to manipulate it that way.
so this would be a really good haircut for someone who has that like crown split.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Why fight it?
I apologize. My phone started ringing.
Oh, that's happened to me a few times. That's okay.
Yeah. All right. I wish Zach was here to kind of talk about his haircut a little bit more.
I know, too bad we can't do like a three-way live.
Yeah, I'm curious how he envisioned it getting styled.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. So now I'm going to be working kind of from the sides up. And I don't want to create too much volume in here because I do want to just like piece out some texture. So all I'm going to kind of do is go through and just kind of smooth out my ends and maybe flick some pieces out.
So using the same technique, you're using the same technique, you're just not going all the way with it?
Yeah, I'm just not going all the way with it. And this is really just to show like how different you can, or sorry, how many different ways you can use your flat iron, which is not necessarily the most traditional way. So I remember when we started curling hair with the flat iron, I was blown away that we could curl hair with flat iron.
Well, I think that's such a great thing about the Platinum Plus is like how it's so round. You can get such a nice bend out of it.
Yeah. All right. How's that starting to look there?
Looking good. And what I love about the Platinum Plus too is it doesn't fade my color. So that's looking great. Happy that orange is still there.
Yes, definitely. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but you put this beautiful, delicate color in, and then you put an iron on it, it just disappears. It's always so sad.
Not with the Platinum Plus though.
No.
Hello, Devanshi.
So if you guys have any questions about the cut, about the color, about the products we've talked about, don't forget to pop them in the question box for Zeina there.
Yes, I forgot to say that. Thank you, Nichelle. I am watching the question cards and the chat box.
All right. So now I've gotten to the top, and I just have all these kind of short bits here. All I'm going to really do is kind of go through and just maybe flick a couple pieces out and curl some in just to create some texture before I decide to go in with some product. What does everybody think so far? I think she's
got some grates and some heart eyes.
Awesome.
I think what's cool about this haircut is if she didn't want to style it, it could literally just fall into place.
Oh yeah, definitely. It doesn't do much.
Yeah, but it's nice because if you wanted to kind of like jazz it up a bit, like this is a really cool technique that you're doing here to kind of make it a bit more styled, but also like undone looking at the same time.
Yeah, keeping it very edgy. All right. All right. I love what you did with the fringe here. A little bit of orange at the bottom there.
Yeah, I just really wanted to accentuate that line that Zach did. It's a really nice fringe. It falls so well.
Yeah, I didn't have to do much to it.
No, I love how you blow dried that. You're just kind of smoothing out those ends there?
Yeah, and creating and flicking some out. So creating a little bit of a different texture throughout. And this is really just kind of free form. Like I'm kind of just making it up as I go based on how it looks.
You can really see those short bits on top so much more now that you flicked them out though.
Yeah, yeah. So it just accentuates them a little bit more, right? And when I'm styling, I do always kind of have a plan in place, but it is always kind of just as you go. Like even when I'm doing big wedding parties or bridal updos, I have a plan and I have an idea of how I want it to go. But it always, there's always those last minute changes.
Oh, that's looking fun.
All right, so we got a ton of texture in there. You can really see the short bits up top. Her hair has cooled, so I'm going to start manipulating with a little bit of product. And the first product I always like to do, including on my hair, before I put any hairspray or finishing products on, is I use a dry shampoo. So
just for added texture?
Just for added texture. And it also gives me a little bit of longevity in my style. So
Okay.
for me, I'm the kind of person that would need to wash my hair every day. I've started going every 2 or 3 days now because I've started my styles with, after I curl my hair, I put dry shampoo in first. So it's kind of like a preventative thing versus trying to fix it once it's already oily. And I also love the body and texture that I get from it as well. So this is Dry Me from IME. It's really nice. It adds a ton of volume and texture. It really does help with the oil, but without feeling too heavy on the hair. So it's not going to feel too gritty, which is what I like.
So we have a comment here, Nichelle. Dry shampoo is the best idea.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm going to have to grab it back up. Just give me 1 second.
Where were we without dry shampoo, though? I feel like I almost don't remember those days. We had to wash our hair more often.
Yeah,
like
I'm not sure. Like, what did we ever do?
It's like now I can go so long without it.
All right. Yeah, you ever see that picture of the lady with her hair all white? All the dry shampoo.
So we just have a question about the dry shampoo, Nichelle. Does this dry shampoo have a white, like powdery residue to it?
No, it doesn't. And that's one of the things I really love about it, is it doesn't show up on the hair. So especially if you're brunette or for your darker hair ladies, it's not going to show. All right. See how much volume that gave her? Woo!
Oh, yeah.
So from here, instead of going in with a brush like you traditionally would with a dry shampoo, I'm actually going to work it with my fingers and just really scrub in there. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with my Texture Touch pomade. And I'm actually going to cocktail it. So I'm going to use my Texture Touch pomade. And I'm going to use a little bit of my oil reflections. So just cocktail them together.
And what does that do?
It just gives it a bit of a different texture. So I get like the piecing out of the Texture Touch as well as the smoothness from the oil reflections. So here, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna walk in front of her a little bit, just so I can see what I'm doing.
Do you ever use cocktail me, Nichelle?
Yes, I do. So it's a cocktailing oil. It's like kind of like a gel oil. It's really cool. So I do use that sometimes.
That's looking good. We're getting some comments. People are liking it.
Awesome. I love this haircut. I almost want this haircut myself. I don't know if I'd be cool enough to rock it though.
Of course you would be.
All right. Perfect. So I like how that looks. And all I'm kind of doing is I have a little bit of product in my fingertips. And I'm just kind of manipulating and scrunching my hair to create that texture and piece everything out.
She looks like she's ready to go to a rock concert.
I am so sorry, everybody.
Okay.
For some reason, my phone does not want to be on live today. All right. So there we are.
That looks awesome.
With the finished look.
I'm loving the way the color looks.
It really just kind of popped out the color, popped out the haircut a lot.
That looks awesome.
Lots of volume. But what I like about doing a wave like this is you don't lose too much of the length. So you still do create texture and everything, but you don't lose the length of the hair.
That looks really great, Nichelle.
Perfect.
I'm loving the way that looks.
So if I was happy with this and she was happy with this, and I wanted to kind of finish the look, I would go in with my Stay Firm from IME, which is a finishing spray. It's not going to be too heavy. It's not going to give her helmet head, but it is going to help kind of hold in this look, especially in a place like Vancouver where we deal with a lot of humidity. So I'd always kind of want to finish it. And there we are.
I love that. That looks great.
Awesome.
So that's really the concept of triple craft, is the cut, color, and styling like all together in one cohesive look. So triple craft is something that we offer at the Toronto studio. It's a class that you can take with Stephen Moody. It's also a tailor-made class that we offer more out in the West as well. What's cool about taking the class at the studio is it also comes with a photo shoot where you can shoot your model and you can actually keep that photo for like your portfolio or like for Instagram, or if you want to enter any competition. So it's a really awesome experience. Nichelle, do you have any like photo tips? Like if you're going to take a picture of your model afterwards, do you have like any tips for everyone?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we all like live in the world of Instagram where we've gotten quite used to taking photos of our clients. And some of the things I always like to just remind people is natural light is always going to be your best light. Indirect natural light, not direct light. And always make sure you have a clean background. You don't want too much distraction from the background. But if you aren't able to have a clean background on iPhones and most other phones, there is an option called selective focus, that what it does is it kind of blurs out the background and then really focuses in on what you have on your selective focus. So it kind of makes the image pop out at you a little bit more, which is really nice. And then the other thing would just be like, don't be shy. If you want your client to tilt her head like this, you know, oh, that looked kind of funny. To make her tilt her head. Like it's, you know, they love getting pictures posted of them. They love seeing their hair on Instagram. So don't ever be too shy. Take tons of photos and yeah, have fun with it.
Those are great tips. And yeah, like take pictures at every angle, which I like, every single angle. There's never too many photos in my opinion. We have a question here. Oh, more of a comment. Perfect advice. Thank you. And we have another comment. You guys are doing an amazing work. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, those were great tips. You guys can get more tips from one of our classes. We have a class called Master Instagram 101. So you can actually take this class in studio at the Toronto studio. And you can also take it virtually as well. So just check out the Wella Education website, and all of our virtual education is posted there. Anything to add to that, Nichelle?
No, that sounds great. Instagram 101 is a great class. And you know, we're always doing lives. There's tons of education online nowadays. I know tons of other educators have done very similar like styling classes and color classes. So, you know, be the master of your education and go looking for it.
And so one last thing, don't forget to enter our giveaway, you guys. So this is your third and final chance to enter our amazing giveaway. And you guys are going to get a chance to win a pair of customizable Mitsutani shears, which is super cool. You can customize the length, you can customize the color, like that's pretty awesome. And a one-on-one coaching session with Stephen Moody, which is also an amazing opportunity. Like I would love to have a coaching session with him. So all you guys got to do to enter is this IGTV live is going to be posted on the Wella Canada West IGTV page. So go to that page and you're going to comment the secret phrase Wella family and tag 2 friends, and that's going to give you 1 entry. And if you want more entries, all you guys got to do is go back to our previous lives for Triple Craft, and there are 2 more ways that you guys can enter. Okay, so you'll have 3 chances of entering this awesome giveaway. Who doesn't want to win? Like that's an amazing prize.
Yeah, it's an amazing giveaway, and it's so easy to go and enter. Like you have a great chance at getting it. The more that people that enter, the better. It's an amazing giveaway. It's probably the biggest giveaway we have going right now. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm just going to put our Instagrams up here. So Wella Canada West, that's where this live is going to be posted on our IGTV. So that's where you guys can go and comment. And there's Nichelle's Instagram there, and there's mine. I'm Z Hair Warrior, and Nichelle's The Hair Niche. Give us a follow if you guys want. And thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We love doing these lives.
Yes, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch this. And also thank you again for Modern for having us. I really enjoy coming on here. So thank you for letting us use your platform.
So tune in next week, next Wednesday, same time, same place. One of us is going to be on again. We'll see you guys there. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks, Nichelle.